Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate applying my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second week of Titan Vanquisher League. I am Romeo. I'm joined by Sander. We got Golden and Loki on production. And tonight, we got TMG versus Glacial Knights.
Are you wearing a beanie? Because I always wear a beanie.
No, I just didn't do my hair and forgot it was on.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, very, very excited to be jumping in for week 2. Now, we do have TMG, who we've watched all of last year. Myself, Romeo, you're still new to them. But they are one of the most fun teams to watch because some of them are really, really good players, Metashift especially, and a jungler for you. One of the best junglers in this entire thing, and you should watch him closely because his way of getting around maps is exceptional. But on the other side, we do have some strong players, I would say, but as a unit, I think Glacial just work better. They have this way of working together as a team and really picking targets and working through it front to back, but put them off of that kind of front to back style, and they do get a little bit messy. So I'm a little bit excited to see how they're going to draft around a team that has such individual talent against what could be a very strong team-based one. Also, I believe last time we had a sub come in for TMG. I think it was Outflayed came in and they had to move some stuff around, but I believe Lelofant is actually back now, so they have their full roster available.
Yeah, so this is Lelofant's first game of the season from what I'm looking at. But Sander, I want to ask you a quick question here. You say Glacial Knights plays front to back all the time, right? Like that's what they're good at.
Sometimes. That's the way they play best.
What comp do you think would be best suited to take down a front to back comp?
Anything with an Akali, no? Like, just play Akali. Like, Akali has been coming back into the meta when you do need backline access. You play Vi, you play Galio, you play Twisted Fate, you play AP Twitch support. If you're going to watch some stuff on Friday, I got some information for you. But there is ways to get into backlines. Vi is nearly always your best option. If you see an Ashe, a Caitlyn, a Jinx, something that you need to lock down, you just send a Vi straight onto that backline and just say, nope, we're not letting you do that anymore. And that's how you do it. So I'm excited to see if they will do some of that, but Metashift is one of those junglers. I believe we saw them on a Mumu the last time we were watching, and it was... Look, it was scary. It was scary. There was some very key ults, but it was a messy one overall because TMG being one of the favorites to come in, they actually lost last week, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And on top of that, it was a loss in some pretty fantastic fashion. We had, I believe it was a rush down to the base right after a huge play where they should have won. They had the chance to kind of close the game out, and there was this huge upset where it was just a spiral out of control, but they were dominant all game until those final closing moments.
Yeah, it was. It was a game where we honestly expected TMGD to do a lot of TMG. Sorry, their TMGD last year. They were absolutely incredible going through, and it was such a back and forth game. But Flash Syndicates just had that last play in them, and they ended up finishing it. And in game 1, it was so back and forth. And honestly, most of their leads did come down to how Metashift was playing and how Metashift was moving around. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to do this. And more importantly, now that they have Lelofant back, they have that ADC back. Their sub last week, I said it while we were actually casting, that they needed to play something safer and something that could stand further back or bully the hell out of them. And that was the way they looked in game 2. I believe they took the Lucian in game 2. See, it's all coming back to me
Yes.
slowly because I am on a completely different time zone and it is very early in the morning for me. So anything I remember is actually incredible. But into draft, let's see Talia taken away. Let's see Azir's taken away. Let's see just that mid lane strength just be taken away immediately from Stone Cold. And let's start playing around these bot lanes. That's what I want to see.
First ban immediately from TMG is that Ivern taken away.
Yeah, Juice Ginger probably favored for them there. There has to be Gingers and Ivern jokes in there somewhere, isn't it? The basketball skin where is Ginger? I think it's the basketball skin.
I think so. In the basketball skin, Dunkmaster Ivern, really OP. It's like the Dunkmaster Darius, where you just get that eternal buff, where you just get your ults off all the time. We're gonna see though the Nico band away, the Amumu band away, which we were talking about just recently, being one of the most OP picks for meta shift. Lucian gonna be banned away, and the Kindred.
Yeah, the Lucian taken away. They don't want that bully bot lane. Lucian has been getting a lot of buffs and has been getting very, very strong, especially with the Senna counterpart now coming in as well. Varus, I think it's the most first picked ADC across all regions right now in competitive. It's always first pick if it's open alongside Azir, which we're going to see on the other side of it as we have an... Okay, we had an LGBT shout in the chat there. Happy Pride, everyone. Gang, gang. Also, Amumu being taken away from Metashift and Nico being taken away. One of the strongest and most aggressive supports you can have at the moment. And here's Jin Zhao. Here's Romeo's spiel. Go on. Go ahead.
It's gonna go crazy. It's the greatest jungle pick in the game, and you can't change my mind.
I can quite easily. I can just to take the Pantheon. Just take Pantheon. Just watch. Just Pantheon just absolutely demolishes Jin Zhao because it just gets in there. There we go. Straight in with Pantheon. Get in, get on the Jin Zhao, kill it. Spears beat spears. That's just how things work. Pantheon has a better spear.
You know, but like 3 strikes and he knocks you up with a spear and it's going wild. I've seen Zins win the Pantheon matchup every once in a while. Alongside, we got Morgana teamed up with him, and like Enchanter plus Xin Zhao, pretty solid. And a Jinx gonna come out as well. That's a pretty solid 3 stack from Glacial Knights.
No, that's a great 1-2-3 coming in from Glacial. That I actually really do enjoy that, but I do feel like they've left themselves open now to get more mid laners taken away from them in that ban phase. Because you see the Azir, you haven't taken anything into it. Unless you're going to go for a Morgana mid, there's always a chance that you just drop the Morgana into that mid lane. Maybe it's something that Happier Cat does play. I don't know everyone's champ pools that well, because Lulu would probably be better for a Jinx, a Lulu or Seraphine, a Braum even is very, very good into that. Something that can help nullify the lane and keep that Jinx alive and let it scale, let it get to those later stages. Especially as a Jinx connoisseur myself, I do like to be protected when I'm trying to get through the laning phase, but we're going to see an Ornn come through on the other side. So a nice tanky top.
Really scaling from Glacial Knight. Ornn, Jinx. I feel like it's the Zin Morgana early game for all of Glacial Knights.
I look front to back.
Try to get them scale. Mordekaiser locked in from TMG to go against that Ornn, presumably, unless they pull some weird shit where it's like Pantheon support and then like Mordekaiser jungle, but it's probably a Mordekaiser top against the Ornn, and a Braum gonna come in for the support.
Yeah, so that'll help nullify the Jinx in those early stages, keep that Sivir alive, and I kind of am nearly expecting that Morgana to go to the mid lane now, and I just feel like, yeah, like Lulu just works so much better. You can polymorph the Braum. It just buys you space, buys you time, lets you get extra damage off. It just works that much better. But I did say in the start, Glacial Knights, they do have that front to back style. They want to play it nice, calm, collected, classic League of Legends. It's what I like to call is foundation level League of Legends. It's at the bottom. This is what you start with when you're practicing. You have a bruiser jungler that wants to be involved but stay tanky, big tanky top laner to help set you up in fights, and you want to protect a puppy. So the original would have been Kog'Maws, it would have been Ashes, Caitlyn's. Just protect them. They'll do the damage. Don't worry about it. Now it's more like Vayne's, Jinx's, champions like that. But this comp, as soon as you see it, you go, Ornn's going to start a fight, Xin Zhao's going to follow, they're going to protect the Jinx, and if you're not tanky enough, your entire team will fall. But TMG, they've went for an Azir, going to slide on that Jinx. They've got a Sivir, going to make sure that Azir is fast trying to slide on that Jinx. Pantheon jumping on it. Mordekaiser pulling out bigger targets to make sure they can get to those back lines, and then they have a Braum. Braum's just going to stand there and scream with his amazing mustache, which I will be growing soon. I'll be going for it.
It's already started. The Braum Satyr mustache. It's just waiting for a couple curls. That being said, with both these comps, you've highlighted what TMG needs to do, and it's get on that Jinx at the end of the day. It's going to be trying to find their way to that Jinx, annihilate her from fights. Meanwhile, Glacial Knights, they're playing classic League of Legends. Protect the puppy, as you say. What comp do you think is going to fit these team styles better?
I think Glacial Knights have went for their style. That's the style they want to play. They want to go front to back. On the other side, TMG, they have a lot of reliance here on Stone Cold getting a good laning phase. With the Pantheon, there's going to be I should see, I'm going to say it out there that it never happens when I say this, but I should see a lot of presence for Metashift in that mid lane. We've seen it before. Metashift does like to play around those two lanes. But I'm just saying, if you have that Azir ahead, we're going to see a very Nemesis Los Ratones style, where in game 3 against Nord, we saw that ADC get battered. We saw that ADC Crownie was just getting one shot by Ziggs and Jarvan, but Nemesis was there constantly pumping out damage. So every time they wasted something on the likes of the ADC, Nemesis could back it up immediately with damage. So I like the idea. I just need Metashift to do it correctly here, as we do see 5-man invade topside coming in from TMG. They're going to try and find this Ornn.
We love a beautiful invade. It's so much more fun than the 5-point, and they are going to look like they're finding it. Here we go. The stomp down. Ornn still has his flash up. The chase is on. No stuns have gone out yet, and it looks like Siakona is just going to get away with ease. Not a lot going to happen off that invade. I do think they got a ward in that Raptors pit, so that is nice for TMG. There was, of course, the counter ward from Glacial, from Bowl of Regret. A very, very even start after that five-man invade.
Yeah, nothing burnt. It was nice to get the information. They've got some wards deep in the jungle. Same on the other side. Glacial Knights have dropped some onto those Raptor camps. Still know where both junglers are starting now at this stage. And we did see Jinzhou still a little bit scared of maybe an invade coming through, but we will see Metashift has a little bit more time on the map before they're noticed about where they're starting. So we might see Metashift change up the path a little bit. Just see if they'll go from maybe blue straight to red, clear bot side back to top, and try work on that. But too much talking about jungle paths when they're not going to think that much, because most junglers just autopilot, right? Doesn't matter if you're playing competitive or not, they just autopilot.
Look, when you're hitting camps all day, it's hard to focus, especially if you're like a jungler with ADHD, you know? That's never a good combination for PvE, unless you're really good at stalking around the map, which I am not. However...
Play Kindred.
You need mechanics for Kindred, man.
No, but it's the ADHD answer to being a jungler, because you're just like, oh my god, there's
mechanics.
Marks. Go get the marks. Like, that's all you ever want to do.
And then it gets you killed on repeat. That's why I got banned away.
I know, but stats. It's wonderful.
That's why I used to play Nasus, because then you could watch the just the counter go up on the jungle camps. Every time you got it.
Solo leveling, but in the jungle.
Yeah, and then your team gets mad, but it doesn't matter when you have 1,000 stacks. Probably doesn't work in Vanquisher, but if you're like in like gold or platinum, pull it out. It's fun. Rock the ghost smite. It's so fun. Anyways, we do see Pantheon skipping the Raptors right now, going straight to red buff, setting him up to maybe take red and go into that bot lane and get a nice gank on Pixel Wolf and Bowl of Regret. The question is he going to have the balls to cross over, or is he just going to go straight to farming again, going to the Krugs and Raptors and finishing the clear?
I am currently just looking at the CS numbers going through each lane, as we do see Siakona in the top has a bit of a CS lead, but pushing in, so we don't know the size of that wave. But in the mid lane, we do see that there's a lot of pressure coming through from Happier Cat onto Stone Cold Instill. They've got a nice little CS buffer here of an extra half a wave, and they're also pushing in as well. So they're going to feel quite good if they do need to roam towards this bottom scuttle, which should be the first fight. This should be the first point of contention. So it all depends on if Happier Cat wants to move for this to help out with Metashift, who looks like they might just give this one up, but the fight
Ginger
is here.
Gonna go on Metashift. There's gonna be the Talon strikes going out. Metashift gonna be forced to flash over the wall to get away, and that's gonna be a scuttle secured for Glacial Knights.
Scuttle secured and the summoner taken as well from the Pantheon, so no easy flash stuns coming through from Pantheon. I think the most important thing to come from that, though, is that there is a level difference there. Juice Ginger did get through their jungle faster, was level 4 on that fight, so Metashift knew immediately they need to get off. But it sets them up to get the second one, but there is Cone in that top side. Feeling quite comfortable with the gank.
Able to get there. The Soul Siphon the Dark Binding going to miss as Xin Zhao walks into that topside jungle. We might see another fight between Metashift and Juice Ginger. It's not going to happen. Juice Ginger going to get the second scuttle for free.
For free. Yeah, it's all looking up right now for the Xin Zhao, who wants to be a lot more aggressive than this, though. I'm kind of sad to not see them get a gank off early. They did manage to get into that mid lane, but Azir just slides out as the bird manages to do quite often. But I am a little bit saddened by that. I like to see Xin Zhao sliding in on lanes nice and early, trying to build up some pressure on the map, but it looks like it will be heading topside. 3 longswords built for the Xin Zhao already, so looks like that could be an Eclipse build coming out, but Pixel Wolf looking to get a little bit aggressive here onto the Sivir, as the wave is actually going to push into the Sivir here, so Pixel Wolf might be in a little bit of trouble here now. The Fortress Door has returned, has the boots, has the setup. Here comes the shots.
A lot of poke coming through. The traps laid. It is going to keep Pixel Wolf safe under that turret. But a lot of damage done, you're right. And that Chemtech Dragon has spawned. We're seeing Pantheon start moving over to the bot side of the map along with the Xin Zhao. TPs coming out from Happier Cat to try to set up. Do we think either of these teams are going to go for this dragon early? I feel like they're both setting up to do it right now.
They both want to be set up for this. That's the thing. It's a want to be set up, but the vision isn't quite there yet. There is a pink available for TMG. They have it in that banana brush just in the river, so they'll know Xin Zhao is going to pass over through it. And Fortress Door is now going to cut off the other entrance to that river, so they'll know if Xin Zhao is going to walk over there. And this is the prio from bot side helping out to set this up. Also, the back timing for Pixel Wolf and Bowl of Regretti is going to allow Pantheon to get there first. It will be checked out by the Morgana, though, so they'll know this is up, but they do still have a numbers advantage. You just need to move Stone Cold Incel over. They are going to clear out that pink. The fighting here would be interesting because it is a 2 versus 4, and you may be an Enchanter in Xin Zhao, but you are not indestructible.
However, Jinx and Poppy on their way with items. I don't know if Outflayed got the back in. 1,800 on the dragon. I don't think they're going to be able to get the dragon in time, but they could take a good fight and try to get some gold. It is going to be the dash onto Fortress. Pixel goes for the steal, isn't able to get it, but a huge fight breaking out. There's going to be the ultimate coming from Azir, and it is going to be a first blood from Happier Cat. Outplayed, still on the run. Is Jinx going to be able to find the kill? Xin Zhao finds Fortress Door, a flash forward from both. Can Pixel Wolf get the last shot? No, Outplayed. There it is. The W of Jinx going to find the shot. The zap does it. As Jinx gets their first kill. That's 3 kills for Glacial Knight for 1 dragon.
Yeah, it's a feat of warfare picked up for them immediately off of 1 fight, and there's going to be some questions raised, I'm sure, by the TMG coach as to why Stone Cold Incel ulted and then just walked away. He didn't even look to get some autos off, just said, nope, I'm not fighting that, as they do leave that one and leave their team out there to die. But an immediate swap coming in now from TMG. They've noticed that they need to move these lanes around, as we will see the Ornn make a little cheeky trip through the mid lane. Just going to walk, though. No ult's going to be called, no horns blown, and just nice and chill. But the knockup comes through. Fortress Door is here to help. Nice little setup for them. They can get the stun.
Stone Cold is going to be caught here in the crossfire as the Call of the Forge God does call upon him, but it does miss Stone Cold Incel. It does burn a flash, though. Flash down from Stone Cold Incel. Arguably a nice play from Glacial Knights.
A nice little move there coming through from Siakana to gank the mid lane on the way to them moving back down towards the bot, but more importantly, Sivir on the run.
Ginger going to go for Outflayed here. Is he going to find the knockup? It's not going to come through. They get the slow meta shift, though, here on the counter gank. It is still a 3v2. 3v3 as Fortress Door does pull up, and it's a huge fight right now for TMG. They're going to try and find meta shift. There it is. Juice Ginger going to go down finding it, but it does get the excited on to Jinx. Can they find another kill? Stone Cold Incel going to come, turn it into a 3v3 as Happier Cat right behind them. Everyone in the top lane, the Dark Binding going to miss, and that's likely going to call the end of this 3v3 in the top lane.
There's a chance here for Happier Cat to wrap around the side, though. The flash is available and the ult is available, and they have to know that someone will be walking
here.
Dark
Binding. Are they still going to go for something here? Fortress Door low in health. Same with Stone Cold.
A little messy, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's a little bit chaotic, but we love chaos. And if we're going to get chaos 2 weeks in a row in Vanquisher, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I'm getting questions from production on how I always know what they're going to pick. I just play and cast this game too much, okay? That's all it is. I just know that if you see Jin Zhao and Pantheon's open, you just take it.
Ginger right now getting caught by the Pantheon that you called out. Not going to be able to find a kill, though.
Yeah.
Grub spawn starting to be taken right now by TMG. First grub down. It is still a 3v3. Jinx coming over from the top side. Azir right below them, ready for the flangle. Here it comes. Stone Cold's going to go for something. There's 1-for-1 grub right now. It is going to be 2 grubs for GEK. 1 grub for TMG. No fight taken in the top river.
Yeah, I'm looking across the board right now, and I'm kind of a little bit worried with the damage that they can get on towers from the likes of the Jinx. Jinx is incredible at tower taking, just that constant ramping attack speed. Will be able to rip through it, so that's a really good pickup for them, while Chemtech on its own isn't incredible. It's a nice strike to have, and it does set them up to get that soul earlier, but now they're going to be in a position where they need to set themselves up to pick up all those drakes. And yeah, I'd much rather grub focus come true from GEK. I'd like to see them focus more on the top side camps anyway, pick up those Rift Heralds, break open towers, and set up deeper vision for yourself, because the one moment where you get a bad flank and there's a Pantheon or a Mordekaiser on your backline, that's when your fight falls apart. That's when you can no longer play in these situations. And taking those early towers, getting deep vision in, and always watching your back, that I think that's a good way for them to win right now. It's an extra little win condition for them. But I am still a little bit interested in how the Jin Zhaos went Titanic Hydra first in a game where Sundering Sky just works better. There is a lot of melee targets to hit. You'll constantly be able to get that HP back. How do you feel about the Jin Zhao build? Because you actually play the champion.
I play the champion, but I run U.GG, and U.GG always says go Titanic Hydra. However, I think in this game, I'm probably going Sundered Sky anyways. I think you just, like you said, there's a lot of melee targets, and I feel like as Xin right now, your job is to protect and serve, and you're probably not getting all that much use out of the Titanic Hydra outside of the farming of it, but I don't think your job in this game is to outfarm Pantheon by any means. You're kind of just protecting that Jinx with your life, and I think I don't think it's as damning as chat's making it out to be, but I also do think it's probably more correct to go Sundered Sky. But even more correct is to get that Inferno Drake, which is what Glacial Knights just did.
Yeah, they just pick up a free Drake. Happens. Things happen. Don't worry about it. No, I do think that there is... So we'll talk about the build for a little while, because it looks like everything's going to be calm for a couple of minutes. Sundered Sky works better in a game where you're expected to skirmish. And that's what Jin Zhao really wants to be doing in this, wants to be looking for those skirmishes, as we might see a stun come through here, and Outplay will get some decent damage, but it shouldn't be a kill. We're in the doom moments after Drake, and there's nothing to take on the map. Everything should be quiet. But Titanic Hydra, never a bad item if you want to try and leverage a 1v1 or clear your jungle faster. There is still positives to it. Nah.
I can dream. Oh, wait, there it is. The Dark Starfall going to come through. Can he find the Comet Spear? He's going to miss. Meta Shift misses.
I hyped up this Pantheon pick so much.
You did, and now it's all falling apart. As Happier Cat going to go on Stone Cold Incel. The binding goes through, the ult goes through, and it's just a free kill from Happier Cat with a little bit of an assist coming in from Juice Ginger. The Soul Jackals really just shit all over Stone Cold Incel's day.
Yeah, it happens. Here comes 1, 2, 3, Titanic, knock up.
Oh, the flash, and he misses the winds become lightning, and Outplay gonna be forced to be flashed on here. The Talent Strike's gonna knock them up. He still finds the kill because Xin Zhao does Win Zhao things.
Yeah, it's too much of a lead being picked up right now. Never mind. Nothing was happening there. No one saw a goat fly across the screen, okay? No one saw Kobe fly across the screen.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
My go. I'm also really not a big basketball fan. Just gonna put that out there. I'm too European for basketball.
Sports!
You're a theater kid. Shut the. Don't speak.
They make musicals about sports. Actually, I don't think they do.
Oh, that is not a thing. Don't.
Hey,
try
what's
that
that? What's that? One TV show, Ted Lasso or whatever. That thing's good. I mean, that's
It's not a
soccer.
musical.
No, but it is football.
Where have you went on this tangent? This tangent is.
I just want to chat to get excited about Ted Lasso. That's all, because it's really good.
No, it is. Like I watched all of it, and also my captain Roy Keane is Roy Kent. So dead on because I'm a Man United supporter.
Is the TP gonna go through? Nah. First turret destroyed. TP does go through. Happier Cat gonna find the binding, but Stone Cold Incel trying to knock them away, and there it is. Happier Cat getting another kill on Stone Cold Incel, and it seems every pick that you were hoping to do well is looking rough. As Outflayed now going to get knocked up and sent to bay as Pixel Wolf gets another kill. We got a 2-0 Jigs. We got a 3-0 Morgana. We got a 3-1 Zinzao. Glacial Knights are running away with this.
They are for the moment, and their comp is working exactly how they wanted them to, and they're getting everything they need, but it's the scaling that I'm expecting from TMG. They always do this. They always seem to lose an early game and then drag themselves out of depth through the power of Metashift's ability to find one moment to change a game. But I do have to point out the fact that you don't know about the TP changes.
No, I mean, you fly across the map with the TP. I didn't know if you... Is it that if you start moving now, the turret and the turret?
I'm going to put it this way, right? If you land on something that's dying and it dies, you still go.
That I don't know. That okay, that makes sense.
Now,
I guess.
What does that mean for one champion in particular? One very special champion that had a very special interaction with TP. Okay, never mind. It's going to be an all-in fight as Outflayed. It's going to be a little bit of trouble here as we do see the Bronze stepping forward. They want to fight this one. Outflayed lands it.
Able to go in. There's the super. There is Outflayed. Pixel Wolf trying to get away. The chase is on. Here's going to come the Stark Stallfall. It is Zinzao caught. It is Pixel Wolf caught. A shutdown is going to go over to Outflayed. Pixel Wolf barely getting away right now. It's Happier Cat. It's able to find the Prom, and it is a huge spear from Pantheon to find the shutdown on Pixel Wolf.
I feel like I rap god for a second there.
I'm beginning to feel like a rap god.
Just for a second. But yeah, so the interaction that I was talking about was you can no longer TP to a Zac passive blob to save him.
What?
Because you can still kill them.
That's horrible. Call the Forge God coming out, and it's looking pretty horrible for Ornn going in without knowing where Metashift is, and that's going to be a certain death, but he does fine. What was that damage?
Pantheon.
No, what was the damage from the Ornn?
No, we're ignoring that. Pantheon. We're not talking about Ornn.
What was the damage from the Ornn?
We're not doing this. I have to do this every split. Every split I have to explain this. Ornn is an assassin, mage, bruiser, tank, ADC. Like, it doesn't make sense.
That was a quarter of Mord's HP!
He is Andre from Dark Souls. He is Blacksmith. He knows what he's doing.
Dragon being taken right now from Glacial Knights. It is their second dragon. And yes, Pantheon did wild damage, but that makes sense! Pantheon doing damage there makes sense!
Yeah, Brittle is an interesting one. An interesting one. Keep doing this.
I don't think I've ever seen Brittle do that much damage in my life. I've seen it do quite a bit, but not that much, man.
It's Mordekaiser.
I thought Ornn was a bit insane for taking that fight, and then... Nope, I'm wrong. He's right. But yes, your Pantheon did get a kill. He's now even. I'm sure you're very happy about that.
I'm more happy about the fact that they got a playoff in mid and they got a couple of kills out of it, and it was all really off of the back of Fortress Door. But Pixel Wolf is she's still a threat. Like, you have to keep an eye on her because she's just going to absolutely annihilate people if given time. And I think Metashift has figured that one out and said we're not letting that happen again. And on the other side of things, there's still a Morgana there. Now, Morgana's scaling will shift towards the later end of the mid to late. It'll be a lot weaker. I know it has a lot of that shred coming through and a lot of that dot coming through, but there's not really like a super health based tank. I know Mordekaiser builds quite a lot of health, but it's not like a terrifying amount like a Cho'Gath or something along those lines. So Morgana won't have as much damage as maybe we'd hope to see. But Cone is going to miss the pullback. Fortress Door is going to walk forward, and that might not be your best choice.
Nope. As a fight, looking to break out. They do have that T1 turret to try to escape through, but Juice Ginger is here. We're going to see him diving straight onto the Mordekaiser. He does ult. Bowl of Regret. He has Fortress Door left to their own devices, and they're not going to get very far at all. Juice Ginger finding the kill. The excited Jinx is here. Medicif trying to come in for the save, but I don't think he's going to find much. He's going to take a ton of damage. Are they going to be able to find Mordekaiser? The stun goes out from Medicif. Juice Ginger able to find the kill, but is turned back on from Pantheon. It is a 2-for-1 for Glacial Knights as Pixel Wolf hiding in the bush. Bowl of Regret. Why? Bowl of Regret forced to flash as the spear going to go through. Does not find Bowl of Regret, but Pixel Wolf able to find Outplay just off screen with the rest of their team. It is a 3-for-1 trade now. Pixel Wolf still on Stone Cold Incel, who still has no gold, no money, no bitches, and no life.
It's been a while since I heard that.
It's
been a while.
And the catchphrases are coming too.
We're getting another fine for Romeo in the mail. We'll get that one sent.
Oh no.
Another fine.
Oh god.
Can he say that? Yes, he can. He said it quite a lot.
I said that for the entire last split.
Well, last split isn't 2 splits ago.
Yeah, 2 splits ago. Here we see the play again, though. It's a huge turnaround from Pixel Wolf. Medicif tried to come in for the save. Juice Ginger under turret, able to find the Mordekaiser, and then we just see Pixel Wolf. We thought they were going to the bush, but they were able to find the Severe shortly after that, but a big fight breaking out again. Medicif diving in. Stone Cold Incel on the flank. Fortress Door, no health. The knockup's going to go through on the Mordekaiser. Juice Ginger, though, will overstay his welcome. Outplayed, going to go down. And Pixel Wolf on the run, no mana right now. As Medicif still trying to make that chase. Is he going to find anything? There's Morgana trying to find a Dark Binding. Isn't going to be able to find it. Pixel Wolf going to go down. The shutdown goes over to Medicif. And that's a huge turn back for TMG.
Yeah, a massive kind of turnaround there for them, and this will lead straight into an Atakan for them unless the Ornn wants to make his presence known on this one, but it should be an easy enough setup for them. There is TPs coming through as well from Happier Cast, so it looks like they want this fight. They don't want to give this one over, as we will see Cone also join this. So it's going to be a 5 versus 2, but they have enough time to buy here.
Going to go through. Morgana trying to find any kills, is able to get a lot of damage off. The Atacon down to 2,800 HP as we see Glacial taking over control of the Atacon. Xin Zhao still in his way. There's going to be a huge Mega Death Rocket. It finds Cold Incel as Happier Cat is stuck on 1 HP. They've gone golden. They get the shield! Nutdown gonna come through from Shiver as Ornn is able to find Outplayed, not before they're able to kill the Morgana. 3 low health targets. Zin's gonna use Wind Becomes Lightning. He is on top. There's gonna be the knockup, and Fortress Door gonna go down. It's a 3-for-1 trade, and they're gonna be able to claim the Atacon.
What has happened to TMG over the course of one split? It seems like they're a completely different team. They seem to lack the confidence to fight these moments as Romeo is dying in the background. See, this is what happens when a theater kid thinks they can come back to the big boy leagues of Titan esports. This is what happens.
Don't swallow your spit while you're talking is what I just learned.
Yeah, just go back on stage and sing Grease Lightning again, okay?
Oh yeah. I've totally been in Greece, but I think the only thing being greased up right now is Glacial Knights gears. They're dominating TMG. 3rd dragon right now, and it is going to be the greatest soul in the game, Sater.
It's the SKT soul. SKT
it's
soul.
The Cloud Soul.
No.
Cloud Soul has the highest win rate of any soul, is what production said, because it's the greatest soul in the game and no other reason.
You can just tell Romeo has no soul, like nothing.
That is correct.
Xin Zhao Teemo player. But
whoa! I don't play Teemo. I play like Xin Zhao.
Jarvan.
I'm trying to think of. Yeah, no.
Really? You don't play Jarvan?
No, I do. I put a little bit of work on Shyvana as well.
Oh yeah, you're even worse.
The greatest dragon in League.
A Smolder. Get over yourself. But as we run back into this one, it's 9-17 right now, and I think one of their biggest issues is these side lanes where they don't have any real power. It's just Ornn is way too powerful into both Mordekaiser and Azir as they're sharing a damage type, and it means that they can just force into that damage type and keep themselves safe at all points, while we do have the Jinx and the Lulu also so far ahead right now and able to deal with whatever they want, while Happier Cat is just a Morgana and it's just immediate wave clear for days. So everything is working in their favor. They have full control right now. TMG need to find some method to get back into this game and fast, because this game is starting to run away from them.
What do you think their best play is right now to find a way back into this game?
Pantheon ult directly onto Jinx's face when Jin Zhao was not on that side of the map.
So, in other words, we need a mistake coming from
Yes.
TMG.
I mean, mistake from GEK.
Oh, not TMG, from Glacial, sorry.
Yeah, Glacial need to make a mistake, but that is always how games go. So, like, no game is like, oh, a team makes a play and then they win from that one play. There's always a mistake that leads to it. And right now, the mistake might be overstaying in that top side when there is a Mordekaiser available. The ult is available for them. Pantheon could find an angle here for a jump. Fortress Door is also in the area. This is where you're going to see who overstays, who's in the wrong position, who's recalling greedily. Are they going to leave up enough space? Are they going to have all the vision they need? Metashift a little bit too far lost on that one, a little bit too late, but they have to wait for the mistake and they have to make sure when they get that kill and set themselves up. What else are you going to get off of this one? It's very good timing on the resets coming in from Glacial regardless across the board.
Yeah, a lot of resets. They're all resetting together. 2 minutes to Dragon. They're going to be able to take priority on it and potentially claim Soul in this next fight, unless TMG has something to say about it. Of course, that Baron up as well, which can be pressured. But I think right now, any objective Glacial wants, they have.
For the moment, yes. There is always that Pantheon steal, because Pantheon has excelled as a jungler for the last while with his ability to charge up the empowered Q, and it will just... combined with Smite will one-shot most things. Like Comet Spear at full stacks, close range plus Smite is going to kill from, I think, 1600 to 1700. It just does that much damage, and it's such a quick and easy ability because you can just press Q. You don't have to hold, you don't have to wait, you don't have to try charge it up. It's just an immediate. Same with the new bite from previous. So Cone does spot out Ornn, so knows that there's something fishy going on in and around this jungle area. Baron is on the menu, as there is no Drake spawning at least for another minute, and Soul isn't that important when Baron will help you end the game.
Map also getting a lot darker right now for TMG. A lot of their wards cleared out. Metashift going to overstep, and all the damage being shielded away, but the Call of Fortune are going to go through. Bye, Metashift. Fortress Door now on the run. The flash going to come through, but Juice Ginger chasing him down. You're not going to get away from Glacial Knights, as it's a double kill and a walk straight to Baron.
Yeah, that one is a big mistake. Metashift should have known there was someone in that bush. Without the vision, like the lack of information gives you information. You know someone should have been in there, and that's Baron heading straight over. And it's not expected game from Metashift. Metashift being one of my favorite junglers across all of Vanquisher at the moment, from what we've seen from Metashift before. And yeah, it's...
Stone Cold able to find one Baron back. A little bit of an outplay on Happier Cat, but here comes Ornn. Can he find him? Just a little bit too late to stop the TP.
Good escape. Well, it is a TP down with Drake now spawning.
Drake is up. It is going to be TMG with the numbers. It is going to be Glacial with the Baron buff. Are their wallets big enough to take this 45? Pixel Wolf almost got out, able to run away. A huge ghost from them. Metashift trying to find the flank, but his team's there to protect him. Metashift being dived on by Juice Ginger, the ultimate bodyguard, as Chow going to be able to knock up multiple members of TMG. Metashift still trying to find their way in, but it's taking so much damage, and Juice Ginger going to finish him off here in just a second. No, Fortress Door going to find the knockup. Pixel Wolf 1v1 outplayed. It is a 1-for-1. That's huge for TMG. Bulla Regretti getting caught in the death realm. Here comes Morgana to try to clean up this fight as Metashift on the run. It looks like overall Glacial going to be able to find the 2-for-1, but they do lose their Jinx as the Dragon begins being taken. It does look like it's going to be a soul for Glacial Knights at the end of the day.
they found the back line, but then the front line found them as they will pick up this Drake, unlock themselves soul. They have Baron for another minute and 45, as you can see up in that top right, thanks to our brilliant production team and not Chris at all. Chris. But regardless of that, it's a clean and well played overall for Glacial. I just feel like TMG have let it slip more than anything else. I don't think Glacial have made incredible plays. I think TMG have made bigger mistakes, and the capitalization of those mistakes has led to a much more solid kind of game for Glacial. Even though Glacial have already started off quite well in this, they are 1-0 in their group already. They won 2-0 previously. I do still think TMG Paladins, they have a lot more to show here, but Fortress.
Fortress kind of all by himself, no flash, and he's going to go down immediately from Pixel Wolf, who's flying their 737 across the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one as we watch this one now, as it's going to be like one of those slow, controlled, take it tower by tower. And it's not a game where you can really split up to get these towers, as their overall presence on these towers isn't incredible. They need to be working around the Jinx to help get these. But once they get it, the reset comes through, and we'll see an explosive fight almost immediately. But they're going to start to fight before the tower.
It's going to find Outflayed. Outflayed already down to a sliver of HP. Jinx in the front line, taking them all down. There's going to go Outflayed. There's going to go Meta Shift. The Death Roam is used, but he's not going to find any targets. Stone Cold Incel running for his life. He gets away, but at what cost? His base is falling. His Mordekaiser's falling. It's just going to be him in the Fortress door. Can Glacial Knights find an end to the game right now? They're waiting for the wave. It's looking very promising. The traps are going out. Fortress door trying to protect the turret, but Pixel Wolf just does too much damage. Stone Cold Incel there for the defense. Can they find a miracle? They're looking for one. Knockups going through. So much health being lost. Pixel Wolf, though, on their last leg, they're going to find the kill on Braum. The Excited's going to go through, and these turrets are going to fall immediately. Both them down, followed by the Nexus, and it's going to be a Game 1 victory for Glacial Knights.
Yeah, nice and clean towards the end there. I was a little bit skeptical of the Oran pull before the tower actually fell to help set up Pixel there on the Jinx. But yeah, overall, that Morgana pick, although I was a little bit worrying thinking about like Morgana in the later stages, but the wave control, the ability to stall the game out and stop any sort of push worked out really well for them. And overall, I'm quite happy with how they played it. And I did say front to back will work better for Glacial Knights. And immediately, it's shown up quite well.
Yeah, absolutely. The front to back just worked. They tried to find the angle. Like you said, they needed to find their way onto that Jinx. And if they could, they would win the game. They picked champions to do it, but it felt like they were never really given the chance to utilize that 5v5 properly in any way. They tried to find a couple flanks. I feel like one of the things that were missing, which you called it a lot of the game, was Azir was not fighting with his team a whole lot in this one.
No, I think it all does come down to that first Drake fight where they got that 3-kill lead. In that I saw the Azir get the ult, it only landed onto Bowl of Regretti, and then immediately just walked away from the fight. And I just felt like if you're going to expend the ult, at least expend more. At least throw everything you have at it, because little advantages like that can spill over. And as soon as that happened, we saw over and over Juice Ginger was just finding better places to be on the map, helping set up things better. And it just gave them that extra push to even contest the Void Grubs, because they felt stronger. Momentum is a hell of a thing in Vanquisher, and especially in these elos. If you're feeling strong, you play strong. If you feel weak, you play weak. And that's how I felt this game went.
Another thing I want to ask about is the Mordekaiser pick into the Ornn. We've seen that get brought out. I believe it was a counter pick, and we didn't see a whole lot happen within the top lane. Do you think that affected it at all?
No, I feel like Cohen is one of those people that just likes his comfort and just kind of plays his own champion, plays his own way, and will either 1v9 or just fade slowly into the background. Like, Cohen will either step up and be that top laner, or will just be a part of the game and just kind of float around. Won't do bad, won't do well, will just float. And I'm hoping to see Cohen really come into themselves in the next game, because by the looks of this game, we're going to have a 2-0 series here.
We got a lot of enchanters down, though, from Glacial Knights. We've lost the Morgana. We've lost the Lulu. What team comp or like what style or any key champion picks do you think either of these teams are going to need to pick up in this next game? Like if you had to predict some of the champions we're going to see coming into this game too, who's it going to be?
Talia, Varus, and possibly Neferi should be some of the picks. But we're going to go to a very quick break and we'll be back in just a couple of moments. Please don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. It's time we go to some KMK.
You're always so leaned into your camera, you just freak me out. You know, you're just like, welcome back. It's just every time. It's Romeo and Romeo's
I'll
face.
just stay like this the whole time.
Yeah, 100%. But we're doing KMK. We got to talk about these picks because we all have different picks, I believe, this time around.
For the first time in forever.
All right, explain to me the Cassante.
He's hot.
So you want to marry hotness?
Yeah, he's 6-pack. Okay, hear me out, right? Like, if we're going by characters, Evelyn's just gonna kill you at some point.
Fine by me.
Nasus is gonna be boring. Nasus is gonna be boring. Cassante's gonna pick you up in his big, brutish arms and just carry you around like a little baby, and it's gonna be wonderful. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go to work when you're with Cassante. He does everything.
I'm just gonna put this out there, Romeo, right? So those big, brutish arms and the fact that his ultimate drags you through walls, that's just domestic abuse.
No, that's a good time in bed.
No, I'm gonna get thrown through a kitchen window. Like, do you know how annoying I am
Yes,
outside
Daddy.
of casting? Can you imagine that?
Yes, please. I want to get
cannot be
thrown
with
through
someone that is
walls.
bigger than me because I will bounce through a wall. I will be gone. 100% I will be gone. So that is why I'm going to go and marry Evelyn. So we have a nice quick divorce because she'll devour me. I'm fine with that. And
See
I'll
that?
kiss Nasus because it's a good boy. Kiss him on the head. He's a good boy.
No, do you know that's not what that means?
He's a good boy.
You know that's not what it means.
He's a good
you're
boy.
You're getting a nice snouty kiss with a little bit of tongue. A little bit of
doesn't bother me.
Nasus tongue. Mm.
I'm a dog person. I have 2 dogs. I love dogs. I'll always give a dog a kiss on the head.
Kissing Nasus is like kissing BoJack Horseman.
I mean, okay, but we do have to talk about the fact that Golden, Loki, and yourself have all decided to kill a dog. You decided
Okay,
to
but,
put
like-
down the dog.
At least we picked humans to kiss and marry. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, but like, look at those threads on. Everyone go and open up a full page of Baker Nasus. I'm just saying that Nasus is
Humanoid.
the most cunty, exceptional pick.
I would not call Nasus the most cunty exceptional pick.
He's serving more than anyone else. Like, Evelyn's trying too hard to serve. Like, her face card, exceptional. Cassante just looks like one of those bodybuilders that wants you to buy his course on how to be an alpha male. Not doing it.
I'm game. I want to be an alpha male. I feel like you'd run one of those courses, Satyr.
You wouldn't
I
be
could
able to be an alpha male with a forehead like that, let's be honest. I could advertise my course on your forehead and I would see a greater tri-state area. I feel like I've hurt Romeo with that, but I really hope everyone enjoyed that regardless.
I'm slowly going to slide the beanie down a little bit further. There we go.
Please let someone clip that for a Titan After Dark segment of Romeo's forehead and we just put everything on the forehead. Like, but yes, also we are using more LGBT focus this summer, and as it is Pride Month and as a lot